right, guys, part 2 of the DCEU power scaling. Let's just get right into where we left off. All right, we left off with Ocean Master, where I put him at the bottom of the A tier. So now we have Wonder Woman from her first film, and she's obviously an A. I'm gonna put her in front of Aquaman. I think even within her first couple of days or weeks, she would be good enough to still defeat Aquaman from Zack Snyder's Justice League. She's been trained her entire life. She knows what she's doing. Although she is below Barry Allen's Flash, because I think he would beat her at that point in her superhero career. Okay, then we have Ewan McGregor's Black Mask. I'm going to put him in C, and I'm going to put him at the back of C. I love the Black Mask character. I love Ewan McGregor. So glad he got to play a role in DC. It's just very unfortunate. I mean, as of right now, we're not going to get more of him. Even though I think he is the best part of that Birds of Prey film, he's not the Black Mask I would envision. He's just a little too different from the character I know. The only reason I'm putting him at C is because he is rich, he owns a company, he has so many people under his payroll. Anybody he calls up, he can use them as bodyguards or enforcers. That's why I put him at C. He does have a little bit of power he holds. The more I look at this listing, I'm going to rearrange it a little bit. Even though we saw how powerful Black Canary's screaming power can be, we still have not seen enough of her. And her power scaling has not been defined yet. And she's actually going to go right below Black Mask. I think she's the bottom of the barrel for C. But even in saying that, if this is the Black Mask I always envisioned, he would belong at the top of C. I know that might not look too crazy, but it does mean a lot when you look at the list of characters on the C listing. But for now, unfortunately, I gotta put him there. All right, now we got Mara. And hear me out. I know it's played by Amber Heard. Let's not get it twisted. She's a garbage human being. But let's just take away that is Amber Heard as the actress. Let's just look at how Mara has been in the DC universe. I'm gonna put Mara at a B. I think Mara in the comic books is certainly a god level character. She 100% is an A, but we have not seen Mara be an A type of character in the films yet. I'm going to put her in front of Black Manta. If Batman can beat Superman, he's beating Mara. I don't care. It would happen. So, you know what? Even in saying that, I'm going to put Mara right under Black Manta. Now we got Will Smith's Deadshot. This is a little tough. I'm going to go right at the beginning of C, so I think he's probably the best person on this list. You could argue that he would maybe belong at the end of B. He did assist in defeating Enchantress, which I think she would be a top B, bottom A type of character. Overall, I think Deadshot, from what we've seen in the films, his power scaling would have to be a C. I think he's better than Peacemaker for sure. Then you got Rick Flag. I know some people would maybe say D. I'm not. I got a lot of appreciation for this character, and I think his power scaling is pretty high. He could have taken down Peacemaker if Peacemaker didn't get that jump on him. Rick Flag, in my opinion, could have taken down the White Dragon. I'm gonna put him in front of Black Mask. He has the power of the government on his side. Although he works for a type of government that is sleazy, they could turn their back on him at any time. I'm gonna keep him at that level for now. I think he's a solid C. Now you got Euxus, and this is Darkseid before he fully becomes Darkseid. He is an S or an A for sure, and he's not even Darkseid yet. He fought up against S tier gods, and because of that, I think I would need to already put him at S. For now, he's going to stay at the back of S, because I do think that this Darkseid would lose to a morphed and powered Doomsday. Now we got Polka Dot Man, and I'm going to slide him into D. I'm actually going to put him at the front of D just because of what his powers can do. They are pretty deadly. Although the man himself, I don't even really think he fully understands what he's capable of, and he's really not smart, and because of that, he doesn't belong anywhere above. Then you have Steppenwolf, the real Steppenwolf from Zack Snyder's Justice League. I think I'm going to put him in front of Shazam. I think the only reason why Steppenwolf played such a strong role, they just were not expecting someone like him to come to Earth in the first place. Given how young Shazam is, I think an alien presence would definitely hinder him. If Billy Batson had a longer go at being Shazam, I think he could take Steppenwolf. Now you have Batman from Zack Snyder's Justice League throughout the whole film. This Batman, I'm going to put in B as well. And I'm going to put him right below Armored Batman. Batman is a guy who you look at and you think he's a part of the Justice League. And then when you look at his mind and his gadgets and his cars and vehicles and just the way he fights and the things he can do, you then understand like, oh, I can see why he stands up with gods every single day. And I actually am going to slide Maxwell Lord a little down the totem pole here. I'm going to put him in front of Mara right now because without that rock, he really doesn't have much potential to be anything. Now we got Ratcatcher, and usually Ratcatcher would be like D, but I'm actually going to put her in C, and I'm going to put her in front of El Diablo, and the reason why I'm doing that is because at the end of the movie, all the rats she was capable of collecting to take down Starro. Then we got Cyborg, and he's gonna go in A for sure, based off of what Cyborg was capable of doing in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I think he needs to go right in front of Doomsday and right below Wonder Woman. He is definitely one of the most powerful characters in that movie. Just seeing some of the things he could do by literally, he's not controlling technology, he is technology. There's no shutting him down. It's nearly impossible. It is impossible. So that's why he would go so high. You could argue he'd be higher. Okay, now I don't know what in the world this thing is. This thing looks like a kaiju from Pacific Rim. So that's going in the question mark. I'm sorry, I can't figure it out. I don't know. Then you got Feora. She is crazy strong, and I actually think she could even take on Zod by herself and possibly beat him. She is going in A, and she's going right behind Wonder Woman from Zack Snyder's Justice League. I actually think Feora could potentially beat that version of Wonder Woman. I think that is how good she is. I think Feora is a vastly underrated character, and mainly because no one talks about her enough. So I gotta show her some respect. Now we got Flash from the new Flash film. This is hard to judge. We don't know what he's going to be capable of in that film. I feel like they're going to dumb him down a little bit though, so I'm gonna put him in A, and I'm going to put him just behind Steppenwolf. No, in front of Steppenwolf. I think that's where he'll be in that movie. He'll be like, really, really powerful, but he struggles from inconsistencies from time to time. Next is the German general from Wonder Woman. I'm going to put him in C. I'm going to put him right behind or right in front of Ratcatcher, actually. I do believe he was given like a little bit of an enhanced ability. And the fact that he was a general in the German Empire, he was capable of commanding forces. So that can be strategically used in his power scaling. He's nothing to even really remember, to be honest with you. I barely remember his character from that film, but I think it's fair to put him in the C level. Now you got Darkseid, and at least the closest thing we've seen to Darkseid. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm using this version of Darkseid as the version who commands Superman, the one who dominates Superman's mind and turns him against everybody, the one who acquires the anti-life equation. That Darkseid has to go in S, and he is going to go right behind evil Superman. This is the tough one though, because I think of anybody in the universe, Darkseid would be the next man up to defeat evil Superman. He would literally be the universe's only choice to defeating evil Superman. And even with that being said, I don't know if it could be done, but he's got to go number 2 on the most powerful characters on this list. Then we got Cheetah. So when Barbara actually turns into Cheetah, we're going to put her on the A level because she technically inherits the powers of a god. We are going to actually keep her at the very end of the list here. I think everyone on this list could defeat Cheetah, although Cheetah does have some insane feats in the comic books, but in the movies, I think that's a good standing for her. And then next, we have Zeus. And Zeus was shown to be incredibly powerful in Zack Snyder's Justice League. He's obviously going to go to S because he is a god of gods. So he's going to go right behind the Superman from Zack Snyder's Justice League. I think Zeus could take on the Doomsday from Batman vs. Superman. I also think he could lose from the Doomsday, but I think that is where he would pretty much range on this S tier. I don't think he'd be beating a Dr. Fate or Barry Allen at the end of that movie. I don't think he'd be able to do it, but he's still powerful. Next, you have Vigilante from Peacemaker. Now, he's got to go D. I like the character, don't get me wrong. He's a good fighter, for sure, but on power scaling, I don't think he's anything special. He's nothing too powerful. He's definitely gonna go in front of Huntress. Now you got another heavy hitter. You got General Zod. I'm gonna put him right in front of Wonder Woman. It's not talked enough about how powerful General Zod is, though. The Wonder Woman we see from Zack Snyder's Justice League and the Wonder Woman we've seen in the DCEU so far, there's no doubt in my mind Zod is beating that Wonder Woman for sure. So now the top 3 in the A listing is Black Adam, Man of Steel, Superman, and General Zod. Okay, then we have Jared Leto's Joker. And with this Joker, I'm taking into consideration he is the Joker from Zack Snyder's Justice League that we see in the Nightmare World, but that means he's also done the things he did from the Suicide Squad film. He also did kill Robin, the suit we see in Batman vs. Superman. This Joker is gonna go B, and I'm going to put him in front of Maxwell Lord. Yeah, he's not a god level for power scaling. He's not super strong, but power can mean many things. You know, he has power over people. He's got power over Harley Quinn. He's got power over the criminal underbelly of Gotham. He's got power in Arkham Asylum. He has power everywhere else, and because of that, I'm gonna put him in B at the middle of the pack. Then there's Dr. Savannah, and I'm gonna put him in B as well. Now, I don't fully remember everything about this character, and I do think he is very powerful. I don't want to put him in the A tier because I don't think he is a god level, although I am going to throw him in front of Black Manta. Then we have Katana, and unfortunately, we saw Jack from this chick, but I am going to put her in front of Vigilante because I think she's better than him. And then Judo Master, he's going D as well. I'm going to put him in front of Vigilante. Just this annoying little runt, but he is a damn good fighter. Then we have Aquaman from the Aquaman film. He is going to go in the A tier above Wonder Woman from the Wonder Woman film. He is much more powerful than he is in the Zack Snyder Justice League cut. His powers are identified a lot better than they are in Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it's because so many characters were dealt with in that movie. It's understandable, but he is power scaled, I think, a little bit better in his own film. Then we got Wonder Woman in her golden suit from '84. And this Wonder Woman, she's going to go in the A because she is a god level. And this Wonder Woman, I'm actually going to put just in front of Cheetah. And I'm pretty sure that's because she was like losing her abilities. She wasn't as powerful. I honestly, guys, that movie is a blur. It's just a garbage film. But if I'm remembering correctly, that's why I'm not putting her high on the A tier. Even though she's lost a lot of her powers, she still is powerful. Then we have Bloodsport. He's definitely going in C. He's on the level of Deadshot. I mean, this guy did take down Superman with a kryptonite bullet. That's what they said in the film. Although, who would win between Deadshot and him if they're on the same level? I think for argument's sake, we gotta put Bloodsport just behind Deadshot on C. Then we have Steppenwolf from the Justice League, and I don't care. he's not going anywhere other than the bottom of D. He is absolute trash. I do not care. He is going nowhere higher. That Zaz could beat this Steppenwolf. I've said it. I've said it. Now, guys, I'm really blanking on who this is. I don't know what character that is. I'm going to have to put it in the question mark. Then you got King Shark. King Shark has been explained to be a demigod. So I think he's got to go in A, but he's going at the bottom of A. He would not be able to withstand any of these characters. He could fight them, sure, go ahead, but he's losing. And then we have Ares from the end of the Wonder Woman film. This version of Ares is supposed to be the most powerful version of him because he's been caking in power for years, even though it wasn't really depicted that way at the end of the film. I'm going to put him just in front of Barry Allen's Flash from his new upcoming film because we don't know much about him yet, but he certainly is beatable by the people in front of him. And I think he is beatable by the people below him, but I just think the probability of his chances to win or just his power scalings in general would rank higher than the people below him. Then we have Batman from the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League where he's armored out and he's got all this tech and weaponry and vehicles. He's going B as well, and he's going the top of B. He's going to take over the armored Batman from Batman vs. Superman. I think he just has so much in his utility belt that he could use in this movie. There is a reason why he's standing up with gods. I mean, he took down Steppenwolf's entire defense force on his own. If he's not gonna be an A, he's gotta be the top of B. Next is Starro, and Starro's gotta be god level. I'm going to put it right in front of Wonder Woman 84. I mean, it took a team to defeat this thing. Then you got Peacemaker from the Suicide Squad film. He's going to go in C, and he's actually going to go in front of the Peacemaker from the Peacemaker show. And the reason I'm doing that is because I think he was more ruthless in that movie. He would actually kill anyone he wanted, whereas in the Peacemaker show, he became more humanized. Then we have Enchantress, and she's technically a god level character, but I did not feel that type of power for her. I'm putting her in B. I'm going to put her in front of Barbara Minerva. Just such a terrible character, terrible representation of Enchantress. And the more I'm looking at it, I'm really cooling on Maxwell Lord. I'm putting him at the bottom of the B list. Now, finally, the last 5 characters we have on this list, we have Superman from the Justice League. But here's what I'm going to do with this character. I'm going to keep into consideration that this is the Superman we're going to see in the future of DC. This is the Superman wearing the bright red and blue suit. This is the Superman who has hope and love and cares for humanity. This Superman is gonna go in the A tier, and he's gonna go right at the front of A. He's gonna beat out Black Adam now. Now, you might be saying, well, why isn't he S tier? And here's my reasoning for that. I think that Superman actually is an S tier character. I think he is the top of the top, but the reason I'm placing him in A is because of how much he holds back. I don't think that this is a Superman who has to enter that all-time high power unless forced to do so. So because of that, he will be a god type character, but he'll never have to use that power or energy to become a god of gods, at least not as of yet. Now we have Cyclone, and here's the thing. I know who Cyclone is, but I don't know much about her character. I'm going to put her in question mark because I don't know how powerful she can be. Then we have Hawkman, and I'm going to put him in A. He's a god level character. And the thing is we haven't really seen him yet, right? Other than the trailers. But he can go toe to toe with Black Adam. Black Adam's going to beat him, but he can do it. I'm just going to put him in front of the Ares from the flashbacks, but behind Shazam. And then we have Atom Smasher. Atom Smasher, I think we're going to do B, and we're going to put him in front of Dr. Savannah. I may be wrong for that, but that's what I'm gonna personally do. And then what I'm assuming is Sabak. Once again, we have not seen much of Sabak from this film. They've really not given anything away about him, but I do know he is basically the opposite of a Shazam or a Black Adam, and that makes him a god level. So I'm gonna put him in A as well. Maybe I'm wrong for this, but I'm putting him there. I'm putting him right behind Feora. I think he's gonna be capable of being a formidable foe. Well, there you have it, guys. Those are my tier lists. So in the DCEU as of right now, I believe we have 9 characters in the S tier, 25 characters in the A tier, 12 characters in the B tier, 12 characters in the C tier, 9 characters in the D tier, and 3 characters in the do not know. The first 2 I can't figure out who they are, and the last one, Cyclone, I just don't know much about what her power scaling would be. I have a feeling she would be on a B level, but I'm not too sure. So once again, guys, this list is arguable. This is all for personal opinion. I would possibly even feel a little bit different if I looked at this list maybe a couple weeks or months from now. So with that being said, everyone, the tier list is done. Now let me know in the comments below what you think and where you would put certain characters. If Evil Superman would be your top of the top, who would be your bottom of the bottom? But that's all I got for you on this one, guys. And until next time, I will talk to you all very soon.